going on, guys? Box here, and welcome to some more Motogp 21 gameplay that's been released by Milestone. And today it is taking a deeper dive into a brand new feature in 2021, which is going to be brake temperature. So last year we saw Milestone introduce tire temperature, and sort of that asymmetric tire wear as well, so that really played a role in how you manage your race. So to improve on that and build on that, they've added in brake temperature, and as we saw from the gameplay already released of the new UI, that there is an indicator in the bottom right which shows you current brake temperature, which sort of implied that we were going to have to select brakes and set that up before you got into the race. So this video talks about exactly that. So let's get in. I'm just going to play the video for a bit and we'll take a look. So it's saying that, not all racetracks are the same, and then neither are the brakes. So again, implying you're going to have to select your brakes. So here you go then. What are they saying? Twisty circuits demand smaller discs, while other tracks require bigger discs, which ensure steadier temperatures. So, tracks that are going to have those long straights that you have to really pull on the anchors when you're approaching the braking zone. But here you go. Just like the tire selection and the fuel selection, they've added in this new option, which is for your front brake and your rear brake. So it looks like you have to select it both before the race. We're taking a look at Quattararo on his factory Yamaha right now, but here you go, front brake disc selection. So it looks like there's 4 options here. First one is your brake disc 320mm, and then you've also got a brake disc 340mm, and you can see that the mass is slightly different, with 850 grams for the top left, and bottom left is 1,000 grams there. And it also gives you an indication of heating time and cooling time, so you can tell that that small low mass brake in the top left is going to heat up really quick, but it's also going to cool down really quick. So you're going to want that in, like it said at the start, sort of your tight twisty circuits where you're going to get on the brakes. You want the brake to cool down pretty quickly so you can get into the next braking zone, and so on like that. Then on the right hand side, you've got these high mass brake discs. So same size discs, 320mm and 340mm, just high mass. So top right is 1,000 grams and bottom right is 1,200 grams. And you can tell that the mass has an effect on heating and cooling time as well. So you're going to have a play around with this. It's going to depend on the circuit, but then also the conditions on the day. If it's raining and it's a bit overcast as well, the temperatures are going to be lower, so it's going to be harder to build up temperature in the brake, and you could lose it pretty quickly as well. So all of those factors are going to play a role. So getting into playing Motogp 21 for the first time is going to be tricky. We're going to have to figure out what brake sizes and types of brakes work well at which tracks and then which conditions. So, but Milestone do give you some tips at the bottom. As you can see, I've paused it on screen right now. And it also, there's a recommended setup in the bottom left. So yeah, they'll help you out a bit with recommending what they think. So that's brake selection. So let's see, in this gameplay as well, they do show you what temperatures affect, what brake temperatures have an effect on the bike and things like that. So we'll get into that. But rear brake disc, you've got two options, and they're both made of steel. So you've got the 200mm rear brake or the 220mm rear brake. So it looks like they're pretty similar. The rear brake doesn't get used as much or as heavily as the front brake, so it's all going to be really down to the front brake. That choice will have a bigger impact. Say you chose the wrong rear brake, it wouldn't matter too much, I don't think, compared to if you chose the wrong front brake. Then you'd be really in trouble. But there you go, you can choose the rear brake as well. And it'd be interesting to know, and we'll get to test this out if we play the game, is how brake temperature affects tire temperature. if the brakes are really, really hot, is it going to make your tyres really hot? Because in real life, that could have an effect. And then also, if you're tucked in the slipstream, is that going to have an effect on the cooling of the brakes? Be interesting to see. But anyway, here you go then. What are they saying? Temperature directly affects the brakes performance, so choose your discs wisely for the most effective results. Well, we basically just talked about that. Obviously, we've seen now the different types of brakes, and here you go. There's going to be a bit of an animation on screen about too cold, perfect, or too hot, and they're referring to the front brakes. So first of all, let's take a look at the line for the front brake being too cold. So left hand side, you can see he's braking, he's turning in, and he's just not been able to shave off enough speed on corner entry, so he's just ran really wide through the whole corner. So not ideal at all. So if we go back then, we'll take a look at perfect temperature, which is the middle one. So we're going to see he's going to pull on the brakes, turn it in, and the bike's just going to do exactly what he wants. He's going to carry a nice tight line round turn 1 at Qatar. Lovely, lovely stuff. And you can see brake temperature there with the indicator. It's green, so you know your brakes are all good. So it's going to be good when you're heading down the straight. You know, take a look at the indicator. If the temperatures aren't looking great, then you know you need to adjust your braking point. So if they're too cold, you're going to have to brake a bit earlier as well. Same with too hot. You know, you might just have to adjust your line based on the brake temperature. So let's look at too hot then. Coming in, his front brakes while hot. He's slowing down and turning it in, but he's drifting out wide late. So turning in seems okay, but getting out wide there on corner exit, not ideal. So front brake, you're gonna have to watch out for that. If you run too smaller discs or not enough mass, then yeah, it could really cost you. So it's going to be interesting with this year's game, especially online. So see how different people choose different brakes and stuff like that, and it'd be interesting to see if the AI, if one will be able to see their brake choices, and presumably they have the same choices to choose from, and presumably each AI will choose individually, similar to the tire choices. We can see their tire choices, the AI. So yeah, they're the 3 different effects. So, you know, too hot, too cold, you're going to have to adjust your braking point before you head into those heavy braking zones. So, you know, tracks I'm thinking of, Qatar, turn 1, evidently here, you're going to have to be careful. Mugello, turn 1, that is a huge braking zone, a huge straight. You're going to have to be so careful on the brakes down there and, you know, get your choice right. But sometimes you might have to compromise, you know, if you choose your brakes based on turn 1 at a track, it's going to cost you around the rest of the circuit. So a brake choice, another factor to take into effect. Here you go, a little zoom in on the Brembo brakes of the Monster Energy Yamaha, and you're going to see, here you go. Oh, I didn't pause it very well, did I? But there's a look at Quartararo on the Monster Yamaha. That's a pretty nice shot. There he is. That is a lovely shot. Quartararo on the Monster Yamaha. First time seeing that. So yeah, that's going to do it for today's video, I think. I hope you enjoyed. Not long to go now till the release. Recording this on the 18th of March, so, you know, about a month away till Motogp 21. It's come around really, really quick, so if you guys are excited for this game, do let me know down below in the comments. But for now, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next one.